Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Nerdgenious.com. My name is Michael Burhan, of course, and this is the amazing, the awesome Mr. Stuart Ashens himself.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you too, sir.
Although we've technically met before, so I'm lying already.
I've been stalking him for, trying to get part in his movie, because that's what you do these days. So, I want to ask you a big question in terms of your channel and your success. What do you equate your popularity to?
I have no idea. I don't know why people like it. I don't know why they come back and watch. I'm going to say the generic YouTube things of people like the sort of accessibility of it. They like the fact it's not overly produced and there's an honesty to it.
Yeah.
And they like the fact that they can laugh at crappy tat, which I think is ultimately really the core of it.
Yeah, that's another thing, is because you've got all these gadgets and gizmos that are absolutely terrible, but you manage to make a rather whimsical video about them, in terms of your own disdain, of course. So going from that, you're an actor yourself. How did you manage to kind of go from the success of your YouTube stuff to basically the acting and the film and the filmmaking, should I say?
We waited for the first possible excuse and then grabbed it with both hands, sat on it and jumped on it until it couldn't escape. Basically, we did it was a promotional video for Dell Alienware called The Proxy, and it was like a I think it was an 8-part actually sci-fi series that the director Riyad Barmania, who I work with a lot, wrote in about 5 minutes, bless him, and it still made sense. Amazing. And we produced it for the budget of 2 minutes of Doctor Who, and not 2 good minutes, but like 2 minutes where they're talking in a corridor or something. And yeah, it just went really well because he had all these contacts in the film industry and proper crew and stuff. It was like, And so at a party the next year, we met up again, and I said, do you think we could make an actual film? Because I've had this sort of idea for a road movie knocking around for years, but no actual way to make it or money to fund it. He's like, could we crowdfund it? And I couldn't get enough from the crowdfunding. Could we get Google to fund it? Well, I couldn't get enough from Google, even though we're working. What if we did both? So yeah, we absolutely took this opportunity and made a goddamn film. And 5 years later, we're doing it again.
There you go, yes. And you can see that you totally smashed it with your Indiegogo, basically. That's still running. You've got like a kind of a deadline, a timeline of how you want to actually make the film. What goes into your process in terms of when you have an idea, you want to make something? Does it kind of one of those things where it's sporadic, or is it something that you kind of, like with myself and my process, I kind of have a shoebox of ideas that I'll always go back to eventually? What's your process like? It's
a weird thing on YouTube because the smaller projects, which is like 99.9% of everything, you can make very quickly because you know the people, you have the equipment. Right, we can go off and do this now, hooray! Then if you want something like we did a short horror film last year, which was much more in depth, and you're like, right, this is going to take planning, we're going to have to get the right people on board, and that's obviously a much bigger ask. Of course. Then you've got something like a feature film, which, yeah, my God, it can take a good 6 months just to write the script to a level you can use, and then obviously you're refining constantly from that.
Yeah.
Then there's pre-production, then it's just such a big thing. The trick I find is get the right people on board. Don't assume you can do everything yourself. There's a lot of people, especially people who've started off on YouTube, have absolute control of everything, because you do, don't you? This is my camera, you know what I mean? I do everything from the start. You have to give some of that up if you want to do it well, because you are not trained. You will make all the mistakes that all these other people made 25 years ago and know not to do anymore.
Yes.
There are certain things you can do and certain things you can't do. And when the bigger the project, you can't try and grab hold of it. I've known people who have tried to make sort of a very big thing and then take control of every little facet. Doesn't work. Makes you ill,
Yeah, and it also makes you hard to work with as well at the same time.
Absolutely, yeah. Because everybody's having to run everything by you, and then you're sort of melting down, and So that's why I get everybody else to do the work while I sleep.
Well, that's the great thing. In terms of basically the evolution of your channel as well, and the fact that you're doing so much more things coming up, how do you kind of deal with all that, apart from sleeping?
Yeah, very badly. No, it's like the YouTube thing is a constant thing that never ever goes away.
Yeah.
And all the other projects come and go, but the YouTube is very much the one central part of it.
Final question: are we ever going to see another Chef Excellence animation? Because I love those. I think they're hilarious.
Oh man, we love working. We love working with Ollie. Good God, I nearly got his surname wrong. Ollie Putland. He's an animator from Aardman who does just fantastic stuff. And Do you know what? I love those. We
Yeah.
have another one written, and one of the
Brilliant.
stretch goals for funding the film was we would make it if we got to a certain amount, but I don't think we will. I think we're going to reach just below that amount, which is a shame. But
Keep digging in, guys. I'll make sure I
yeah.
put the link in below.
It ends in a day and a half from now.
I'll make sure this is up to date. It's because I love the animation series. I remember when I was watching your stuff and I also watched like Larry's content. That was one of the videos that I kind of migrated to because it kind of had the Scooby Doo thing, but it was really incompetent at the same time.
I'm really kind of obsessed with the Scooby Doo setup. I have a really, really weird. I was going to say idea for a Scooby Doo reboot. It's not a serious reboot. It's like a comedy thing, but very, very dark. I must do something with that.
Well, if you need someone who could do a Scooby voice, you know,
we need a Scooby now. Very good.
Yeah. So see, I can do it. I've got loads of little voices in the can, so I could be your Scooby.
That's tempting. Although I could never make this idea because it would be so expensive and so horrible. Nobody would want to watch it, let alone produce it.
It would be amazing. Have you seen the Supernatural episode of Scooby Doo?
I haven't, no.
It's amazing. It's literally, they took Scooby and they made it completely gory. People were dying in this episode. And you have like the gang just sitting there going, this is not how it's supposed to happen. What's going on? And they get like really freaked out. It's brilliant. If you check it out, it was part of the season that just finished. So it was I believe episode 4. But check it out. I will make sure I add you on Facebook and I'll add that on there.
Please do, please.
Because it's such a great episode. And people actually, respectively, they looked at it and was like, that's pretty good.
Do you know my favourite parody of Scooby-Doo is Mr. Biffo, when he did his Biffo-Vision pilot, did a version called Scranton K.
Oh my God.
And of course, being Mr. Biffo, it's extremely bizarre. And instead of Scooby-Doo being this Great Dane that talks, it's a naked man with a boot for a head. With like a tongue flapping out of the boot.
Oh
and
my
it's
Lord.
absolutely horrendous.
I need to check this out.
Yeah.
So, any plugs that you've got for, like, of course, your upcoming projects? Let us know.
In the unlikely event there's time left, do search out Ashens and the Polybius Heist on Indiegogo. If not, just Google Ashens and you will find everything. That's ASHENS.
Yes, and please do. Chef Excellence, we need another one of those. I love that, so let's get it done. And that's pretty much it, guys. This, of course, has been Ashens. My name is Michael Burhan, letting you know that we've got gameplay. Have you?